We're live.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay,
go ahead.
So I just want, are we all present? Are we all here? No.
Yes.
Yes, back. So my video is, or the clip that I chose to analyze is the video for, the promotional video for our program. And what I've done is basically I've edited that video. It was maybe 3 or 4 minutes long, so I've sort of cut it down into about 2 minutes or less. So it's a bit over 90 seconds. So let's have a look at that video. Not sure how it sounds.
Marlboro is just an incredibly beautiful city. It's kind of magical up there. The graduate program absolutely accepts that people are complex and whole and have lives and have children and have dogs and have work and things outside of school. So finding a way to blend those together and accept and welcome that fullness and that richness is absolutely
On top of that,
unique.
just my classmates made the experience absolutely
For most of
tremendous.
us, it's something about social change or social justice or being part of and giving back.
Should we just be in touch over email between now and our next
And I
class?
think it's one of the things that really unifies a Marlboro education is this thought about yourself.
I know that everybody in my class is a bit of a maverick, or they wouldn't be in the program. They're smart, capable, inspired mavericks that can make
I'm
change.
so engaged in the work of the legislature that I can't help but bring some of that work into the classroom. And I think here you have people who are looking at nonprofit management, they're looking at socially responsible business, they're looking at ways to impact the world. And so bringing the lens of policymaking and government policy making in particular is useful as a way for them to figure out how
I'm
do
going to
they want
challenge
to
this to what
impact.
we did at Marlboro. We dove into a lot of the deeper questions underneath the business processes that you might just stay at that shallow level in another program, whereas at Marlboro I really felt we got to get into the in-depth philosophical and hearts and minds questions behind what we were doing. So I think for anyone who's really invested in being in this space, I think it's really the perfect place to kind of practice those values and really gain a deep understanding of why those values matter and how to put them into practice.
So, like I said, I've taken out not quite a bit, but I've taken out a lot of it, and I've included some things that I thought might highlight some of the values and perspectives that this program has, and why people might choose to come to this program. So,
You gotta get off the video.
So, I mean, when I started thinking about 10 minutes, I started thinking about how much time I had to talk to you about these, things that we saw in the video. And the fact that we were asked to sort of, I know you guys, I really appreciate this one here, Scott. And so I included this for you guys. I was thinking about you, so I thought I'd
No
include
cultural
it.
significance.
Yeah. So I included that because I thought that we were supposed to be talking about, like, where you asked us to look at the products and the practices as well as the perspectives and persons and community and things like this. So I created this, and I thought immediately about this. Last year I downloaded this image, and I was thinking, wow, I can talk about the things that I see, for example, from products, from practices that I can derive from what I've seen. But perspectives seem to be like a personal thing. I mean, analyzing what a person believes or what they value is an assumption. Unless you come out and say it, I can't make that assumption. So to try and apply critical race theory or any of the other lenses that we look through, I didn't really want to go there because I thought that might be just my assumption. So I included a quote here which sort of sums it up for me. And as we see here, that what we see from each other as a community or people that have gotten together in a group is that most of our interaction and what we see from one another is only 10% of our culture, meaning what we really believe, our attitudes, our perceptions are mostly hidden. And so I think we can only sort of stay here unless we're willing to together make our own assumptions and state our own beliefs about what we see. So I've taken some pictures from the video and I've cut them up put them here. Basically, in the beginning of the video, they're selling the environment. We're here in Vermont, and there's a nice river, and nice beautiful place, and nice landscape lawn, and there's mountains in the back, and it's the fall, and the trees are beautiful. And the woman, she says in the beginning, we'll watch it quickly before we leave, it's a place where magic happens. It's a beautiful place. And then I cut out a few other scenes where they're outside, sort of showing the environment, which could be potentially attractive to people that might want to come and study here. And then you have the common area where people are engaged in discussion. There's some book bags here, so we're talking students, but it's parched here and a nice, this is the fall. So they have the flowers there and the computers and obviously the drinks, and the people are just sort of casually, they're dressed casually. They're engaged in discussion. And here, same kind of view, but as you can see, and you will see through all of the pictures, the technology is visible. And they're definitely making a statement about their use of technology in this program. Computers here, we got the robot here, Sean and the robot. The people, some of the key people that spoke were these people. Tristan being a state representative, a small business owner, as well as the man that we're going to go to for our food.
The caterer.
Caterer. He has. I seen him at the farmer's market. He's working in a pizza place. So he's a small business owner. He's a state rep, and he's a faculty member here. Business student. He had his own piece where he was discussing social justice, and he was the guy that had they sort of zoomed in on his tattoo as he was. I thought it was really weird when I first watched it. I was like, what's up with that? That's just my perspective in it, but it was obviously something that they wanted to highlight as part of one of the products of a Marlboro community member. Another faculty member, nice redhead, nice looking woman. She seems tall, and she's got some inspirational language going on. Also, she talks about how the students that are her students are mavericks, and that otherwise they wouldn't be in this program unless they were of this magnitude. She also reminds us that the people that come to this program are just like me and you, people that have jobs, people that have families, they have children, their husbands and wives, etc. So a lot of inspirational social justice, socially responsible business owners, mavericks, people that that are everyday people like me and you. This is the program for you. So more practices. People get tatted that come to this program. It's okay for women to touch other women, and in casual conversation. There's another scene that's similar to this. We have people hugging. Obviously, they haven't seen each other in a long time. They're coming for the we know it's a residency weekend, but there's love flowing around the common area, as what they're showing. This man's handing this woman some flowers. So obviously, it looks like good times. It looks like a community. It looks like people are close. They're touching. They're hugging. They are engaged. And if you notice, in all of it, and we watch the video one more time, you cannot tell the faculty members, the people that are instrumental in making this program a success. You can't pick them apart from the students or the other faculty members. So it's not being sold as a research institution, that gets lots of grant money or that's supported by big business, etc. And again, our technology, and in most of the scenes, you see that Apple is the choice, and they're not hiding that at all. But here, and there was a piece of the video that I cut out. You had this gentleman, can't remember his name, maybe Brian. He was here a couple of weeks ago for his, seems like he got drilled by Beth. Maybe it's like a dissertation type thing or whatever, where he had to go through an interview. But he's seen in his house having a glass of water, making arrangements with someone via internet. So there's clearly, this idea that you can, do this program remotely, and that it is something that is suitable for people that work. For example, the lady that we see at the end, the minority lady, Sunitha, or whatever her name is, she is a manager in a bakery in New York City. So it seems like, this is one of those programs. And look at Sebastian, he's going to come back and do his program, and he's now in Maine. So it's one of those kinds of programs that they're communicating to you that, you can stay, in your workplace and bring your experience, bring your ideas to this community, and from there, you can go back and change, make positive change in the world. More practices, people always involved in discussion, round tables where people are discussing issues and offering input. People casually dressed, and like we see, in a sort of in discussion with others in class, technology being visible here. You always got you got a few shots where they show the glass walls, usually, some of them pointing out to the, to the environment. So it's a good image that's being projected. And here again, she says some very powerful things I want you to listen for again at the end of the clip. At the end of the clip, she mentions that this environment is for people that have, that are deep. She says basically we delve deep into the philosophical issues that were, there was no shallowness about what we do here at Marvel. That basically we are, we go into the philosophical hearts and minds, or hearts and minds, or something she says like this, issues. And basically, it's a call for you to bring your values here, and for us to, to dig deep into our subject matter, and then take that back into your place of employment